I'm so old that email did not exist when I was an undergraduate at Coe College. In fact, the first email account I was able to get was when I went to graduate school at the University of Iowa. As a new technology, email was wonderful. You could reach people you would never reach before. And so it was great. But then after that came the advent of cell phones. And a friend of mine from the University of Iowa, who she received her undergraduate in accounting and went on to get her law degree from Iowa, she said email doesn't bother her, but cell phones do. Because at least with email, if a client asks a question, she has time to think it over before she responds. But when cell phones came around, she would get calls from clients and they wanted an answer before she'd had time to give it serious thought. So she was like, ugh, I kind of wish my clients didn't know how to reach me so easily. So platforms are where people meet you. That's a given. We have Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. That's all part of the Meta company, and they recently added Threads. And then, of course, there's Twitter, which is now X, and day by day, Elon Musk is doing everything he can to destroy that brand. And by the way, one interesting note is these are all American companies. And then over on the side, there's TikTok, an app that the Chinese have unleashed on the world, but they don't even allow the citizens of their own country to be on there. Think about that. So a friend, she was dropping Facebook and she said, I really only want to contact you on Signal. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm not adding one more app for ways for people to reach me. I'm not doing it. So if you want to reach me on WhatsApp, you can reach me on WhatsApp. A few weeks ago, I thought about one of my fraternity brothers who would only be active on Twitter, now X. And I just noticed he was not posting anything, which was unusual for him because he's usually posting quite a bit. And so because I noticed he wasn't posting anything, I sent him a message and he didn't respond. And so his wife is still on Facebook. And so I reached out to his wife and I said, I'm worried about your husband. And she said, well, the first thing you should know is that we're no longer married. We've been divorced now for 6 months. I was like, okay, how do I reach your husband? And so she gave me his phone number, which I didn't have. And I reached out to him and he is reconnected. He's connected with me again on Twitter, X, whatever. I know how to reach him. Yay. It made me think about another friend of mine who he's only on LinkedIn. And so I reached out to Ben and I'm like, Ben, just because I had no idea that Brent had gotten divorced. So I'm just reaching out, just to ask, is everything okay in your world? I haven't talked to you in a very long time. Is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, everything's fine. Great. Happy you connected. Okay. By the way, of all social media platforms, LinkedIn is my least favorite. I actually really like Microsoft as a company. I think they're phenomenal, and what they're doing with OpenAI and ChatGPT, Microsoft is a good investment. If you were smart enough to invest in them the day that during the OpenAI debacle from a couple weeks ago, that was a good day to invest in Microsoft. You'd have made good money. Since Satya Nadella took over, that company is firing on all cylinders. Yay, Microsoft. But during the Steve Ballmer era, they bought LinkedIn, paid way too much money for it, and I don't like LinkedIn. LinkedIn to me is a social platform where everything is, oh, you're wonderful. No, you're wonderful. No, you're wonderful. And it just gives me a headache every time I go on LinkedIn. Which brings me to the point of this whole video. When there are 100 different ways to reach someone, then there are essentially no ways to reach someone. A friend a couple months back missed a very important message from his boss's boss. And he missed it simply because he's in so many WhatsApp groups that he just missed it. Because he's in way too many WhatsApp groups and whatever. He has since pinned his boss and boss's boss to the top of the WhatsApp group, so it's not gonna happen again. But it really, the term white noise, it's what helps me go to sleep every night. I have a white noise app that plays in the background, so it's a, a thunderstorm in the background, whatever. I need white noise to sleep. I always have. But white noise is not a good thing when you're trying to communicate. I hope that, just because I don't like what Elon Musk has done with Twitter, I hope Twitter folds completely. I don't like the idea that I'm now going on a thread, so now I'm on 4 Mark Zuckerberg properties. Don't like that at all. But I have more faith in Threads being a good platform moving forward than I do X. Earlier this semester, I asked my students, how many of you receive, not counting the groups that you've purposefully muted, like I'm on a couple different dog groups that post 50 things a day, and they're just muted, so I don't see it. I get no notifications or anything like that. How many of you receive at least 100 messages per day across the platforms you use? 3/4 of my students raised their hand. And as you're now hearing bings in the background for me, don't even know what platforms they're for, but it is simply a fact that we receive way too many notifications, and it has certainly become white noise.